Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on a much loved singer in Australia, Julie Anthony, because she was part of the Seekers for a while, and also the official version of our national anthem, so it's great to give her a bit of a go, absolutely. Well, Julie Griffin was born in 1956 in Waxahachie, Texas. I hope I pronounced that right. Probably didn't, but anyway. She got her start, so we're talking country and western for sure. She got to start with a band called Streetlight, and it was in that band that she met Buddy Miller, and now Buddy Miller would marry Julie in 1981, and Julie would adopt the name Julie Miller. Now, Julie has just got, her voice is very unique, I think, in many ways, and there's a childlike quality about it. There's a lot of innocence about her voice, a lot of vulnerability about her voice. She is quite unique. And, you think, wow, this is really different. But there's a lot of soul and heart behind her songs. She's a songwriter as well. And she really is quite captivating when you get to know her. Leslie Phillips, who would soon become Sam Phillips, who was signed to Mirror Records at the time, discovered Julie and said, hey, you know what, I reckon there might be something in this. And so she gave a demo tape to Mirror Records, and Mirror Records said, yeah, what a great idea, let's sign her up. And it was in 1990 out came the cassette. I had a cassette, remember those things? Meet Julie Miller. Now, I was absolutely captivated by this girl. She really has got something about it that's quite unique. And very poignant songs. So we've got How Can You Say No? I've got the official clip on this one. Julie is a contemporary Christian artist, and how can you say no? Talking about Jesus really here. And that is, how can you say no to him? With all the things that he's done for us, the sacrifice that he's made, the way that he loves us, how can you say no to this man? I mean, sometimes I think in this day and age, we just got to put the question out there, don't we? And Julie Miller, in a very, I suppose, just simple style, just very compellingly asks that question in a way that just seeps through your defences. And so we got the official clip of that one. 1991, out came the album He Walks Through Walls, and we got the song Broken Keys, Broken Things. We've got a live clip of that with Buddy Miller right here. You know, you can have my heart, it isn't you. It only seems to come in shades of blue. But I'm going to give you my heart anyway, because you know what, it might need a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of mending, a little bit of massaging. You can have my heart because it needs a little bit of mending. And I think it's good to acknowledge, I think, particularly as a songwriter or anyone really, that, sometimes we're not travelling so well, and we might be suffering from a thing called a broken heart. Now, as we know, the heart is not the organ we're talking about here. We're talking about that inner thing within us that breaks, we're not expecting it. It comes out of the blue, and next minute we are dealing with the fallout from it. Well, Julie Miller would believe, and so would I, that you can give your broken heart to God. Your heart may not feel new, it may not feel brave, it may not feel courageous, it may not feel anything at all. In fact, it's just forgotten how to feel. Well, how good is it to be able to entrust that experience, I suppose, that life experience, to someone who can kind of help you through it? So I think He Walks Through Walls is quite an interesting name for this album, and that is, God can even fix broken things, like a broken heart. Now, the thing about fixing broken things, of course, is that they don't ever really go back to the way they were, but they learn and they grow from those broken times. And I think this is the challenge of life, isn't it? It's not just about realizing that life has been a bit of a thing, but also realizing, okay, through that thing, what have I learned? And certainly when we get into 2025, now I'm not quite sure when I'm putting this video up. I think it's going to get up just before New Year's Eve. But it's around this time of year, don't we? We look back on 2024, think, wow, okay, or wow, or how cool was that? For me, 2024 has been a wonderful year. You know, I've had a great year. You know, 2025 is looking like a year of promise in many, many ways. New work, you know, the relationship's going really, really well, and we're looking for a bit of newness here, I think, there as well. But what can I reflect on? What are the things that happened in 2024 that weren't so good? The things that in 2024 that were, you know, a bit of a challenge. How did I deal with those challenges? How did I rise through that challenge? How did I respond to the challenge? I thought for me, one thing was, in fact, it was the last working day of 2023 when I got one of those horrible infringement notices in the mail. Now, the unfortunate thing about this one was that it was the fourth one in 3 years. You're thinking, well, Trevor, it's a bit of a speed demon. No, well, no, I'm not a speed demon. They've all been yellow light infringements, and yellow lights that have changed a bit quick at times. You think, wow, it's a bit of a thing. Bit of a tip to you guys out there: if you're ever doing yellow light turns, look at the lights, not the car in front of you. So for me, when I had my driving, I had a driving lesson, which is a good thing to do, by the way. He said to me, "Your driving's fine, Trev. Just look up. It's all you need to do." So I'm actually hoping that around February the 13th, 2025, that 12 months good behaviour period will be over. But certainly I think I have appreciated having my driving checked, having my driving looked at just that little bit. I mean, it wasn't disastrous, but there's a couple of things in my mind that I needed to change. And I think for me, learning going forward is, hey, I have a new way of driving that's probably better than what it has ever been before. And so to actually go forward with something as fundamental and essential to who we are as driving is pretty good. I mean, I'm going to be driving interstate soon, you know, and I really not worried about that at all because I know my driving routine is good. Trust me, there's been some challenging drives this year. You know, we've had drives to hospital. We've had drives in pretty tenuous moments of tenuous times, but I've just been able to lock in to that mindset, which has been really good. I think what else can we learn? We learn about the things that we struggle with, don't we? The things we think, oh, hang on. But how did I respond? Did I respond to it in a good way? Or there's some things that you were outside of your control. You think, well, there's nothing I could have done any differently there, so I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But what can I bring into 2025 that's going to make it a really good year? I think this is the opportunity this year. What has been broken? What don't you want broken anymore? And what don't you want broken going forward? What can you do about those broken things? Julie Miller would believe, and me too, that God can fix broken things. And so how great that you can actually hand over something like a broken heart to someone who is bigger and more loving than us to be able to fix it. So he walks through the walls, broken things. 1993, we had Orphans and Angels. We've got a bit of a photo clip here of the song All My Tears. This is a duet with Emmylou Harris. In 1999, out came the album I Still Cry. And we've got, the album was called Broken Things. And I think, you know, that the song Broken Things really has resonated with many people around the world. And so she wanted to revisit that in 1999. And the song I Still Cry. Nothing wrong with crying, I don't think. Crying shows vulnerability. Crying shows that we have emotion. Crying shows that we're human. And I think to be vulnerable in this world, particularly when you're in a relationship, is a really good thing. And so we've got a live version of I Still Cry. So between 1990 and 2023, Julie's actually had 11 studio albums. And she's made many contributions to many other artists, including the Chieftains and Neil Finn. and John Hyatt. So she's kind of been well regarded by the industry as well. Julie does just what Julie does so well. Vulnerability, wears a heart on the sleeve, and makes us just gets us to reflect. And there's nothing wrong with that. Is actually in this day and age, particularly when we're getting into 2025. So I trust you found that encouraging today as you consider what may be broken in your life. So the links to those 4 clips in the description below, and I've also included my last video from Julie Anthony. If you want to recap on her, feel free. Well, if this is your first time to Life Reflections Your Music, or you've come back for another one, how great to see everybody here. Well, that's it for today. And until next time when we get onto the Justice Crew, I'll catch you around. Catch you then. Bye for now.